Now I'm going to introduce to you midpoint. Now midpoint, as it just says, it's the middle of two particular points. So we've done distance now. Midpoint, that's what we're going to be doing now. And midpoint also has its own formula. Again, I'm going to draw you a little diagram and show you how the midpoint formula is derived. Have a look. We have 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2. Those are two particular points. And the midpoint is this point here, isn't it? Now, how do I find that point? Again, I'm going to consider x and y individually. See how this is the x coordinate, which is x1, and the x coordinate for this one is x2. To find the middle of those two points, we have to add them, so x1 plus x2, and then divide it by 2, don't we? So x1 plus x2 divided by 2 is the middle point for the x value. Now for the y value, again we do the exact same thing. We add y1 and y2 and then divide it by 2. And then that's pretty much it. That represents the x coordinate of the midpoint, and that represents the y coordinate of the midpoint. So the coordinates as a whole, it's going to be x1 plus x2 divided by 2, and then y will be y1 plus y2 divided by 2. That is it. And I put it like this because midpoint is a point, it's a coordinate. So you must put it in coordinate form where x and y is inside the brackets like that. Okay, so that is it, guys. So pretty much you add the x's together and divide it by 2, and you add the y's together and divide it by 2. That is it. Okay, so this is the x coordinate, y coordinate. That is it. So let's try the questions, starting from question 9. Find the midpoint of the interval joining these 2 points. So I like the distance formula. They also give us 2 particular points that we have to find the middle of. So again, guys, very, very carefully add the x's together, divide by 2, add the y's together, divide by 2. Don't get mixed around with the x and the y's, okay? Because that's where everyone makes mistakes. So here's the x's, minus 3 and 7. So minus 3 plus 7 divided by 2 for the x coordinate. And here's the y, 2 and 6. So 2 plus 6 divided by 2 is the y coordinate. Now minus 3 plus 7 is 4, 2 plus 6 is 8. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. That is the midpoint. So that was very, very simple, wasn't it? That is it, guys. So 2, 4 is the coordinate of the midpoint of these 2 particular points. Okay? Very simple. 10, again the same thing. We add the x's together and the y's together. So x's is minus 3 plus 3 divided by 2, and then y, 6 plus 6 divided by 2. We know that negative 3 plus 3 is 0, and 6 plus 6 is 12. 0 divided by 2, 0 divided by anything is 0, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. 0, 6 is the midpoint. Question 11, guys, give it a shot. I want you to have a go at it. All I'm going to do is exactly the same as what I did in the previous 2 questions. Add the x's together, so 2 plus 2 divided by 2, and add the y's together, negative 4 plus 4 divided by 2. Obviously, 2 plus 2 is 4, and negative 4 plus 4 is 0, so 4 and 0 on the numerators. We divide both of them by 2, so 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 0 divided by anything is just 0. So 2, 0 is the midpoint of these 2 particular points. How easy is that? So simple. 12, exactly the same thing. Negative 4 plus 4 divided by 2, 2 minus 2, because it's 2 plus minus 2, isn't it? So it's 2 minus 2 divided by 2. Negative 4 plus 4 is 0, and 2 minus 2 is also 0. So we have 0 divided by 2 for both x and y coordinates. And that's just going to be 0, 0, because 0 divided by anything is 0. That is the answer, guys. So basically the midpoint is at the origin. Okay, so in the middle, 0, 0. Find the coordinates of R if Q, which is given by the coordinates 1, 5, is the midpoint of P and R. So they give us the coordinates of P, and they give us the coordinates of R, which is 1, 5. Q, which is 1, 5, and they want us to find the coordinates of R. So basically here, guys, we're finding the middle of 2 particular points but we're not looking for the midpoint. We're looking for one of the other endpoints because this time they already give you the midpoint. Okay, so that's the diagram. That's P and that's R. We don't know what R is, so I'm just going to let it be X and Y. And P, it's negative 5, 2. And they give us the midpoint, which is Q, 1, 5. Okay, guys, apply the exact same method. To find this midpoint, the X coordinate, what do? We add the X's together. X1 plus X2 divided by 2, isn't it? And to find the Y, we add the Y's together and divide by 2, isn't it? So, what are the X coordinates? It's negative 5 and X. So we add them together. So again, let Q be XY. Oh, sorry, that should have been R, wasn't it? Because we're looking for R. So, it should be negative 5 plus X divided by 2. So negative 5 plus X divided by 2. And for the Y, we do Y1 plus Y2. So Y's are 2 and Y. So we add the 2's together, 2 and the Y's together, and divide by 2. That is going to be equal to our coordinates of Q, which is the midpoint, 1, 5. Okay? So this must equal to 1, and this must equal to 5. Make sense? So I say, negative 5 plus X divided by 2 is 1. Solve it. Oh, sorry, we'll do the other one first as well. 2 plus Y divided by 2 is 5. Okay, so X coordinate, Y coordinate. Solve it individually, guys. I'm going to multiply by 2, so I have 2 here, and multiply by 2 here, which is 10. Okay, and then to get X, we need to add 5. So 2 plus 5, and here we subtract 2, so 10 minus 2. 2 plus 5 is 7, 10 minus 2 is 8, so therefore X is 7, Y is 8. The coordinates of R is simply 7, 8. That is the answer. Okay, so in this kind of question, you have to work the X's together only and the Y's together only. Alright, so this is a very, very typical exam type question. I've seen this so many times in different school exams, so make sure you're very very aware of this kind of question. Okay, so that is the answer. 14, find X and Y if B, 1, 3 is the midpoint of A and C, 4Y. So A is X1, C is 4Y. So again, it's the exact similar kind of question. But this time we're missing the X value of A and we're missing the Y value of C. So it's different coordinates that we have to find for different X and Y we have to find for different coordinates. So if I draw you the diagram, that's A and C, and B is the midpoint, 1, 3. A is X1, C is 4Y. Okay? Again, guys, do the exact same thing. Group the X's together. So this is the X coordinate of the midpoint, and this is the Y coordinate of the midpoint. Alright, so to get the midpoint, we add the X's together. X plus 4 divided by 2, and the Y's, 1 plus Y divided by 2. That is equal to B, which is 1, 3. Okay, so X plus 4 is 1, and 1 plus Y is 3. So X plus 4 is 1, 1 plus Y is 3. Let's multiply both sides by 2, so get rid of the denominator. So that would be 2, and this would be 6 on the right hand side. To get X, we need to subtract 4 here, so 2 minus 4, and here we need to subtract away 1, so 6 minus 1. 2 minus 4 is negative 2, and 6 minus 1 is 5. That is the answer. X is negative 2, so this is the one that we just found, and Y is 5 for that one. That is the answer. We're looking for the pronumerals. Alright, but see how all I did was use the midpoint formula? That is it. So that was question 14. 15, find X and Y if B is the midpoint of A and C. Again, guys, this time they give you the midpoint, but only the X coordinate, which is 6. They don't give you the Y. And here they give you the X coordinate, but they don't give you the X coordinate, sorry, but they do give you the Y. And they give you what A is. So if I draw it up, A, C, and the midpoint is B, 6Y. A will have the complete coordinates, 3, 1. and C we have x7. We want to find the x and y, the missing x and y, using our midpoint formula. So again, 3, so x's together. 3 plus x divided by 2 is 6. And then the y's. 1 plus 7 divided by 2 is y. Okay, because that's 6 and that's y. That's what it's equal to. That's what the midpoint's equal to. So 3 plus x divided by 2 is 6. 1 plus 7 divided by 2 is y. To get rid of the denominators, we multiply both sides by 2. So we have 6 times 2, which is 12. Y times 2, which is, oh, what is this? Oh, okay, let's simplify it first. Sorry. That's what I'll do first, because this is a complete number, isn't it? 1 plus 7 is 8. So we have 8 divided by 2, which we can simplify in the next step, which is, well, over here, we'll subtract away 3. So 12 minus 3 on my right. And this one, you can just clearly see that it's just 4. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 12 minus 3 is 9, and therefore y is 4. These two are our missing pronumerals. And that is it again. All I did was apply my midpoint formula. Alright, so it's very repetitive, isn't it? Because we keep using the same formula. That's why it's very repetitive. Okay, question 16. The points B, C, D are equally dividing the chord joining A and E. Find the coordinates of B, C, and D. Okay, does that make sense, guys? We have points B, C, D, and it's dividing the chord joining A and E. So we have the chord AE, and we have BCD in the middle of it, and it's equally divided up. So that's what it looks like. We've got A here and E here, and we have BCD in the middle, where these lengths are equal. They're all divided equally throughout. Okay, and they give us what A is, and they give us what E is. So all we need to do now is find B, C, and D. Pretty tricky, isn't it? Well, it looks tricky, but it's actually not, because it's very simple. All you need is the midpoint formula. That is all you need. So, first of all, I can find C. The reason why I'm going to find C first is because C is the midpoint of A and E. See how it's directly in the middle of A and E? Because these are all equal, I can be certain for that. So therefore, I can find C simply using my midpoint formula. So, use your x and y for A and x and y for E. Do the midpoint formula. So add the x's together. So negative 2 plus 6 divided by 2. And the y's, negative 4 plus 8 divided by 2. Simplify it. It becomes 2, 2. I don't know, I'll do it for you, but don't really need to. It's just simplification. Negative 2 plus 4 is 4 divided by 2 is 2. Negative 4 plus 8 is 4 divided by 2 is 2. That's why we get that one. So therefore C is 2, 2. Okay, so we've found C already. Now I'm going to find one of these. Maybe B. I'll find B first, because B is the midpoint of AC. Now I can find it because now I have C, so I can just find the middle of those 2 points using the midpoint formula. So again, do the exact same thing. Use the formula, add the x's together, and then add the y's together. Negative 4 plus 2 divided by 2. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0, so 0 divided by 2 will just be 0. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2, divided by 2 is negative 1. So we have 0, negative 1 as B. So that is our coordinates of B. Okay, very simple, isn't it? Now, D should be very, very easy to find. D is the midpoint of C and E. C and E, it's the midpoint. Use the formula using those coordinates. Add the x's together, so 2 plus 6 divided by 2, and the y's, 2 plus 8 divided by 2. 2 plus 6 is 8, divided by 2 is 4, 2 plus 8 is 10, divided by 2 is 5, so 4, 5 is your final solution for D. So D is 4, 5, that is my final point that I want to find. So I just found them all. All I did was use the midpoint formula, guys. So hopefully now, as well as the distance formula, the midpoint formula is also stuck in your head.